Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Game over. Hashtag Throwback Thursday on Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Powered by SABC Sport.
Welcome to it. It's Sports Night Amplified with Andile on the Mighty Metro FM. I am Andile Ncube. Thank you so much to Touch as well as Loot Love. They're back again tomorrow between 3 and 6. 7 o'clock, top of the hour. There is a special town hall happening. The queer community is here to speak about all things queer over the next 2 hours with Faith on Metro FM Talk. So do make sure that you don't miss that. I can see a lot of people outside. If you are in and around the SABC and you'd like to pop in, please do so. Go through and enjoy the conversations there and be a part of those conversations as well. My guest today, ladies and gentlemen, sits and is one of the most humble people I've met in a long time. For the person that you are, you're very humble.
Mr. Ncube.
Are you well?
I'm well, and you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Yeah?
Been a while.
It has been. I just feel like, and I said this to you when we did meet, you know, most South Africans, particularly black people, need to know about you and celebrate you more, which is not something that is something you care about. You just do your job. You care about what's in front of you.
I got to do my job. You know, I have. It's been the least of my worries. You know, not that it's a worry, but I just go on with life.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce him before we go on, because we are about to go on. Sizwe Ndlovu, Sizwe Lawrence Ndlovu, born on the 24th of September 1980, a South African rower who won a gold medal in the men's lightweight coxless 4 event. This was at the 2012 Summer Olympics. I think it was in August, the 2nd of August, if memory serves me well. It was South Africa's first ever Olympic gold medal for rowing. He was alongside his team, James Thompson, John Smith, and Matthew Britton. You heard those names. And then, in and amongst those names, there's a Sizwe Ndlovu. The most South African name, actually. How South African is that name? Sizwe Ndlovu. Huh?
It is, eh? It's quite true. Oh.
12 years ago.
12 years ago. It still feels like it's yesterday. No, every time I get into media or talk to someone about it, it just feels like yesterday. I mean, just 2nd of August last year.
Yeah.
There was a reminder on my Facebook. I'm like, 12 years. It feels like yesterday.
Tell me about that day. You wake up, I mean, the preparations and all of that had gone well. You wake up in the morning. Where are you staying? Because you're not staying in London, right?
No, we weren't staying. We weren't staying in London because the Donelec was 2 hours away from the main village. So we stayed at the university. I forgot its name. So it was an hour to drive. It was still a bit longer. You mentioned now when I woke up.
Yeah, tell me about that day. The day you made history, the day you became the first black, the first South African, the first gold medal. You know what I mean? The day you made that history.
Andile, that night, the first of the night, I did not sleep. I was so nervous, anxious. You know when you lie in bed, the race is playing in your head. So there were worse races that were playing in the head. There were the best races. And the best will like just end halfway the race and then I'm up. You know, like I was visualizing. So I wanted to go to bed with a good race in the head, knowing, okay, I will finish top 1 or I'll finish top 3. But every time I visualize, it will cut. Then I would start the process again because, I mean, the race, the whole preparation takes 2 hours before the race. You weigh in on the scale 2 hours before your race, so 10 o'clock we have to stand on the scale. An hour and then you go eat and relax just to replenish what you've lost. It's similar to like boxing.
Yeah.
Boxing you weigh in the day before. So lightweight rowing you have to weigh in at 70.
I didn't know there was weigh-in. What is the weight?
So the weight is 70 kg.
Okay.
Yeah. If you then are 70.01 or 0.2, you do not race.
So for those listening and saying, Andile, it's rowing, and there's 4 people in this rowing boat, and in sync together they race. How long is it?
2,000 meters.
2,000 meters. So together they race 2,000 meters in perfect harmony, in perfect synchronization to get from the one end to the other. And it's scattered different boats or across this lake, right? So that's the picture you must have. I'm listening. This is the day. You've woken up now.
So woken up, the plan was to meet at upper 6, check our weight. We went and checked the weight. I was probably 70.6. Like, okay, the weigh-in is at 10 o'clock. Upper 6, an hour and a half to lose the weight.
An hour and a half to lose the weight?
To lose the weight. So that by 8 o'clock, I mean...
How much weight are you trying to lose in an hour and a half?
400 grams.
How do you do that?
Easy.
Please tell us. Malcolm is all ears.
I can see. So, yeah, it's one of the worst things. I mean, losing weight. I guess, obviously, training, you sweat. But you don't want to be going training when you're racing in 2 hours or doing quite a long run or a long sweat. So we would normally run a very hot bath and sit in there for 10 minutes or a shower. When you get out the bath, what do you normally, you wipe yourself and then you still sweat.
Yeah.
That's weight. So
what?
200 grams goes like this. You stand on a scale, you check. So the plan was we wake up at about 600, all of us. So we'd had dinner together, no dessert for sure. We're all different, slightly different. But I remember at this day, James was about 70.8. So 800 gram, almost a kg. So we then, you can donate as well. So you have a maximum of 2.5 kg.
Okay.
That you can donate to the next person. That's
so there's a certain weight that the boat must then handle.
Yeah. The boat gets weight, the athletes get weight.
Okay.
The boats will only get weighed after the race. Randomly, they do a random check. Or maybe the A final, all top 6 have to weigh in. And it has to be 55 kg. If it's under 55, you're disqualified.
Yeah.
You lose your position. So us at 70, we're all under 71, but like 0.8, 0.9. But so we didn't have to do so much work to lose weight. So okay, let's go have coffee, croissant. We finish. Hour before we leave, we started the weight loss process. Got into the shower. We always travel with our own scale, and so we'll take our own scale, go to the racing course, put it to the main scale that you weigh in. And normally it's not the one; it's just the weighing scale, and calibrate it and see if it's about the same. So we check the weight. We had coffee, we had croissant. You're going to sit in the bus another hour, 45 minutes.
Oh, you do this process over and over?
Over and over.
You sit in a hot bath. For how long?
10, 15 minutes.
10, 15 minutes. You come out. You don't dry yourself. You just allow the sweat to go.
No, you dry yourself. And then you put on clothes or you go underneath your blanket in the bed. Then you'll sweat more.
And then you take an hour, then you get back at it.
Yeah. No. Well, we'll check the weight. If the weight is still maybe 100 grams again over,
then you go back.
You go back.
I don't think I'd be giving how to lose quick weight advice. On your wedding day, if you're getting married and you don't know what to do, well, there you go. I'm giving you some advice. When we come back, we'll get into the story of how does the most Zulu-sounding, Southern African-sounding name end up on a boat winning a gold medal with 3 other white guys and making history.
Need the right tools to run your small business? With Nedbank, you get the latest Visa, MasterCard and Amex accepting card payment device delivered to you within 48 hours. Enjoy getting your payments straight into your Nedbank account on the same day. Plus, you could get 100% back on the purchase price of the device. Apply on the Nedbank Money app today. Join the bank that's best for your small business. Nedbank, a licensed financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Ever wondered what goes into a bottle of Benylin? There's so much more than meets the eye, like over 2,500 checks every step of the way, and a tamper evidence safety seal, so the Benylin you open is the Benylin we packed. You see, with Benylin, you aren't just getting a soothing cough syrup. You can rest assured you are selecting the quality checked and time-trusted choice. Visit benylin.co.za to learn more.
There's been no electricity for a week because my neighbors overloaded the transformer with their illegal connection. My daughter can't study at night because my neighbor blew our transformer by bridging his meter. My neighbors have been buying electricity from illegal vendors and using it carelessly. We live amongst them and allow them to vandalize vital electricity infrastructure. We need to stop that. Report illegal connections to Eskom on 0800 112722 or the SAPS. Save your transformer. Save lives.
Get ready to save big with ShopRite Extra Savings, bringing you instant cash savings on over 1,000 deals. Like a 900-gram box of Bokomo Wheat Bix cereal for only $49.99. And a 3.5 kg pack of Goldie frozen mixed chicken portions for a low $139.99. Offers valid until 7 July 2024. Make savings simple with Extra Savings, only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust, always.
Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM.
086-000-2160. Peter's out in Pietermaritzburg, wants to speak about Chiefs.
There are certain players who don't want to leave Kaizer Chiefs. So that's the only thing that I want to say to you. They know themselves that guilty, and then once Baleda,
who was that? Who said that?
No, I think the supporters know. Luana, you must know about it. The only coach who goes to every match, I check out the opponent and see what goes
Middendorp,
on.
Ernst.
Yeah. He said that Middendorp.
we tell players are comfortable, they don't want to leave Chiefs.
Yeah, go Chiefs.
So you think that's what happened with Slanty?
Yeah, no, definitely. Chiefs honeymoon.
All right, Peter.
6 to 7 p.m.
2nd of August 2012, Sizwe Ndlovu makes history. It's your favorite show of the week. It's Throwback Thursday on Sports Not Amplified with Andile in the Mighty Metro FM. We've told amazing stories on a Thursday. Today's story is no different. Tonight, the guest's name will go down in history. Nothing can ever take that away from him. The first black South African rower to win a gold medal at the Olympics. I can actually take it as far as to say the first African to win a medal in the water. Because we've never had anybody in the water. We don't have anybody, be it swimming, be it polo, we don't have people in the water. Sizwe's story with rowing started back in Mondio High, apparently. Sizwe, let's talk about this. You've won the gold medal, but where does a black guy come across rowing? Where did you grow up?
You run after soccer, you run after so I don't want to be the sheep, you know.
So
No. I've dabbled in many other sports, but I mean that was back home. I grew up full crust in Mpumalanga, between Mpumalanga and Newcastle. So both my parents, both sides. I moved to Johannesburg in 1995.
Okay.
In the south of Joburg, Mondio. That's where it all started. My mother was a domestic worker that side, so that's how I got into rowing, and then I moved in.
I don't understand. Joburg rowing?
Yes. You think you'll find it in Newcastle?
In Mondio?
Mondio High School.
They have rowing?
Rowing. Right now they do. They're one of few government schools now that still have rowing.
And where do you row?
Where my pen? Well, now it's unrowable. It's Jimiston Lake. In Joburg. Mauritius is too small, that's for canoeing. And then the next one, the one big one is Rhodiplat, Pretoria.
So as a student at Mondio, and a big shout out to Mondio here, you know, hats off to them. To be based in Johannesburg, number one, and then to offer this at school is just insane. When when the soccer boys after school, they go and practice on the field.
Yes.
You guys get into a car and drive.
We got into the bus. Some days we had to warm up, do a run to Wemapen. So you run past Rosettenville, and if you know that side of South, it's about 40, almost close to an hour. It's enough exercise itself to get back into the bus and go back to school. So ordinary day would be, what we used to do is train in the morning before school. So the headmaster used to fetch me like up 5 in the morning. It was one of those things. Get to school, rowing machine or gym. You're done by 7:15. You go to shower, go to class. 2:30 when the school is out, the school bus was waiting. He was driving it, or a school driver. To Wemapen, 20 minutes in the bus. So you used to pack like 2 lunches basically, or a lunch and after training lunch. We're there until about 6. You get home about 7:08.
Where's your mom staying at the time?
She was in Mondio at the time.
In Mondio. Are you staying with her in Mondio?
Yeah.
So you guys are staying with the family that she's working at?
Yeah, with the family they're working at.
And how are they towards you guys?
No, they were fine. They were happy. But
I'm assuming they are then paying the fees as well at Mondio?
No. So you didn't have to pay. Well, in the beginning we had to pay. I mean, funny story is, I mean, this obviously started with the friends when I was visiting.
Yeah.
So I used to see her maybe 3 times, 4 times, depending, school holidays, if she has money to send, and then we'll come back. Those days, obviously, money was post office.
Yeah.
Then you'll come during June holidays, or December holidays, September holidays, or Easter. Or otherwise she'll come home. So that it happened that I came to the site, and the friends that I had in Joburg, like, hey, dude, why don't you just stay here? So I spoke to her. She asked the employer. I said, yeah, sure. I was supposed to go to standard 6. Those days were standard 6.
Yeah, grade 8 now.
Grade 8 now. No, standard 5, sorry.
So the last year of primary school.
Yeah, last year of primary school. Went to Monday Primary, I tell you, listen, you're too late to apply. It's January. We full. Go try Meadale. Meadale says, no, we full. Okay, your last chance, go to Monday High. Go to Monday. I said, okay, aptitude test. I wrote an aptitude test. I passed. Don't know how. And that was my ticket. Skipped the start grade. I was in grade 8. And from there, I just never looked back. Grade 8, I didn't row at all. We encouraged, obviously, to do a whole lot of sports. I went to soccer. The reason I actually didn't play soccer was the nicknames. Soccer. You know how soccer is.
What was yours? Do you remember? Did they give you one and then you ran away?
Of course I do.
What was it?
Skumpa. I think, as you can see, my skin, it was a thick
Newcastle boy.
Yes, I had a thick skin. So, and I was a goalkeeper. So, and I'll get hurt every afternoon, every evening after match practice. And it was winter sport or not winter, summer, I can't remember. But how it happened, I got to rowing. I then also summer sport, I did water polo. That was my favorite. Came from Newcastle.
I was about to say, so where's the swimming come from? Is it because you're from Newcastle, or did they have a pool now here where you're staying?
Yeah, they had a pool where I was staying. But I was always in Newcastle and I didn't want us to get. We were not. But Makshisa and summer,
anyway, yeah.
We swim.
So data,
yes. Yeah. Dog pedals and get a man's in So I had the basic, the floating. But now, I saw this thing on paper, water polo, and my tender months. I'm fine now, tender months. So I went, I was told, no, choose position. So I chose goalkeeper because that was the easiest one. You're going to hang around there, jump, when the ball comes, you throw back, it was one of those. So quickly I learned to swim very fast because, practice training was you swim across the swimming pool. So it happened that the teacher said, listen, we're short of swimmers. And all the water polo players must go swim. It was a school inter-high. I said, no, thank you. I'm not going to embarrass myself in front of 1,000. At that time, we were 1,500 students.
Yeah.
I said, nope, I'm not doing that. No, she's like, no, bye. Sure.
So you're kicked out the team?
So I was kicked out. And so I had to find a summer sport. I had to do a sport, So I looked to know what rowing was. Then there was rowing. Luckily, at that time, the late Tom Prize was looking for person of color or scholars to come row. Got there. He's like, yeah, come through. And since then I never looked back. I think it just made my life easier. I left everything that I was doing. It's nice to be picked up at 5 in the morning. Let's go training. Afternoon, you go. I just had no friends. There was no social life from that.
And the reason I'm probing even on the backstory is the assumption. Even with me, until I spoke to you, the assumption is here's a black guy who speaks the way you do, very eloquent, very erudite in the way that you speak, who won a gold medal for rowing. The assumption from me is, Michael House, has a rich family. They were able to afford him all of this. And I think that's what's so important about your story. Your story is your mother, very much like me, not mother perhaps, but my grandmother and everybody. If you look down the lineage of our lives, 90% of black people will have that sort of upbringing. It might not be now, it might be a generation ago or 2 generations ago. And you persevered through all of that and you made it here. Because many people will look at you and say, yeah, Mara, Sizwe grew up different. That's why it's so important, Sizwe. Like, it's so important to give flowers to mothers who couldn't fully speak the language you understand, who've never been inside a pool, but raise kids that are gold medalists in the water.
True. Our parents worked hard for it. We didn't see them because they were working to feed us. You know what I mean? They left their parents at home. They left us with grandparents, just so that we can have an education, better education, and become better adults.
These are late 90s into early 2000s, because you're born in 1980. So I'm just trying to piece it together. It's got to be late 90s into early.
So mid 90s, so 95.
Mid 90s to late 90s.
Yeah, to late 90s.
I mean, this country had not fully transformed then. It still had the scar. There was still septic that you could still see and peel off. It still hurt of racism. Those schools, most of these kids, weren't used to being around black people the way they did. You then go and segregate yourself even more by going into the water where there aren't any other black kids. That can't have been easy either.
Yeah, that was tough. I don't know if you remember 1996 or 5. There was a whole big thing at Mondio High School. I mean, I could count by maybe 10 black kids, the whole high school, out of the 1,500. So we were two or four when we started rowing. And I think by the end of the season, the rest were gone. There was this thing of, I think the one prefect saw us, one of the black guys smoking, and he's a smoker. So there was a whole screwdriver stabbing and all of that. So it was still the early days, I mean. And so there was a strike for a couple of long times. So those days, it was still tough. It was still, I remember I used to go to regatta. St. Benedict's had 2 black rowers. Mondio, there was 1. JP didn't even have. And now JP and all of those other schools are probably more transformed. And it was mainly government schools. Yeah. But yeah, now it's things have changed. I mean, if you go to Mondio now, it's 99% black, transformed, fully transformed.
And they're still rowing.
They're still rowing. I know they're struggling, but they're still rowing.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll speak more to Sizwe Ndlovu, one of my favorite people, really. And he's got the gold medal here with him. I need to tell you about this thing. It's incredible.
The youth of 2024.
Our education is getting inferior and inferior, more and more, whereby now they were introducing Africans to all the subjects, whereby it was going to make us even more and more difficult to learn.
Your battles may differ from those faced by the youth of 76, but your courage is no less remarkable.
Remember, the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose.
Metro FM. Celebrating the leaders of tomorrow. Today. Hashtag Throwback Thursday on Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Powered by SABC Sport.
South African rowing gold medalist in 2012 in London, Sizwe Ndlovu, is with us. Sizwe's story starts back in Newcastle before he moves to Mondio to come join his mom in 1997. Started with 4 other black rowers at the time. He remained the only. He persevered through it all, and that led him to a gold medal. Incredible story. It's one of my favorite stories, because what are we doing in the water? We're not water people, is not what we like to say, and it's a joke that we like to repeat about ourselves, but it's clearly far from the truth. Somebody said if we actually gave ourselves a chance, we'd be competing even in swimming. If we actually gave ourselves a chance, if we would take away the stigma that we've self-stigmatized ourselves with.
I think, we limit ourselves. Yes, that's the history. Our parents used to say, stay away from the water. So times have changed. Being able to swim is one of those life skills that I think everyone should be able to do.
It's a must.
Yeah.
It really is. 2003 is the first time I encounter Sizwe Ndlovu as far as the name is concerned.
Correct.
And I'm like, what? And then you guys didn't qualify. I think it was, yeah?
Yes.
And I was like, black guy, I understand, I'm Andile for trying.
Yes.
Then 2007 again, this name pops up again. And I'm like, Hibana, this guy, he doesn't want to give up, does he?
Persistent.
Once again, fails. Do you remember those 2 failures? What did you learn from those 2 failures? What did they teach you?
Those were both 2003 and 2007. They were tough. 2003 I can understand. I was still just coming out from UJ, moving to Tux. First year at senior level, beating some of the few guys, made it to the top 4, go try and qualify, come 14th. That was fine. That I can swallow. But 2007 was, I lost my dad. And on the way to Munich, I picked up an infection on the plane. I think on the long, traveling, I had bronchitis. And then I arrived in Munich. It was 4 days before racing. The same guy I was sharing a room with, Bruce Tavy, a friend of mine, picks up for me as well.
Oh.
We were sent home. So that whole 4 didn't race. It was the world champs in Munich. Didn't race, was sent home. Oh, in fact, they did race. They brought the 2 young guys who were under 23, came second or third at the world champs, so they came to join us and race the pair. And yeah, it didn't go so well. So I thought, no, let me take a break. Hopefully next year they'll send us to Olympic qualifiers, which are 2 months before Olympics. Yeah, that happens. Take a break, come back home, we train. We found out Saskok said, yeah, okay, we'll send you guys to Poland. 4 days before, my mother decides, cheers, goodbye.
Oh, no.
Yeah, almost about the same time with my dad. So, yeah, now you can understand. 4 days before the trip.
And I mean, you've told us about the relationship with your mom.
Yes, it was very tight. It was very, I was the mummy's boy. So she goes, we then, okay, rush, bury my mother. It was a Thursday. It was a Thursday morning. Sunday we bury her. Monday I had to leave. We were racing Friday next week, but I didn't leave on Monday. The team left on Monday. I left on Wednesday. It was a waste of time of going to try and qualify, so we didn't qualify. Got back. That time I was dabbling a whole lot of things. I was working as a field technician there. I thought, no, that's it. That's the end of me. Done with this rowing. Tom Price was late as well, 2005. So I thought, no, let me change the career. Let's see, let me go to the corporate world and start working. End of 2008, while I was working as a field technician, Roger Barrow, my coach, came and said, hey, what's up? What you doing now? I said, yeah, I'm working. I'm happy, good there. It's like, listen, I'll find your salary. What you're earning now, you come and stay in Pretoria. Or at that time when we were still based at HPC, so we're going to move there. You don't have to worry. All you have to do is row, eat, sleep, and row and train. That's all you have to do. And it sounded a good deal. So, I mean, I don't think you would say no. Because the dream was always the Olympics. But, I mean, all the guys that I had joined, the senior guys that joined, they all had stopped rowing, obviously going to corporate world as well. There were young guys coming up, the John Smith that I rode with, Matthew Bruton and James, and a few others. I mean, the 4 you see, there were 12 of us going for top 4 sport. And so you have to go through selection. So, I mean, I had to weigh things up. How many rowers are there? It's like, no, the young guys are coming. I need your assistant. I need you there. So that was me going back. Resigned. I left work. Moved to Tux. I just finished at UJ as well. I mean, I finished studies 2003 at UJ for thought I would work. So I left corporate. I went to training. And yeah, that was the best thing I've ever done. That was the best thing I've ever done. And now it was real. Now it now became, it was what we were doing previously the past 4-10 years. We're playing games.
Yeah, compared to what you're doing now. Felt professional.
Yeah, because then those countries were the Danish. Some of those guys were police in Denmark, but they don't go working. They row, they get paid to row. Italians, same thing. And the guys became second to them under 23. So you're racing people, the athletes that are training full time. So I was excited about this, and that's when it started. So the whole lot of young guys came in. I became the senior from just becoming a junior and a senior. I then was a junior. And that's when it started. I then moved from 6 hours to 8 hours a day of training. If you were lucky, you'll get 1 day in 3 weeks off. Sunday, we're training. Thursday afternoon, I think that's the only off you got.
I want you to hand me that medal there for a second. This is the actual gold. They say it's a gold medal because it's gold.
Yes.
It's actual gold. It's very heavy. It's so big. You know, if you can just take a look at it. But I'm a little saddened by it now.
Why?
I was so excited when you brought it earlier. I was looking at it. I was so happy.
First one to see it.
No, because your mother never got to see this.
Yeah.
Your mom, who
Maybe she saw it first coming.
maybe she did, but you were never able to put it around her neck. After all she sacrificed, after all she did. Being a Zulu man that you are, I'm pretty sure you took it to her.
I did took it to her. And it was a pretty sad moment when I got back, because it was her. I was thinking of her. I was thinking of Mr. Price. I was thinking of my dad. I mean, she had never seen me rowing at all.
Your mom never ever saw you row?
Never ever saw me row. She was busy working. So the weekends, I mean, with rowing at school or at varsity, you train on the weekdays, you race on the weekends.
Sizwe.
Only thing she's come close to see was the photos. But she was also scared for me to be on order in the dam.
That's crazy. So who does Sizwe celebrate this with in that way? When you win a gold, everybody's on their phones. You know that. They get in, and for those that can, their parents are actually even there.
Family?
What did the celebrations of this moment look like for you?
It was big. Listen, I did get onto the phone. It was crazy after that medal after London 2012. I had no time to breathe. I mean, you didn't have time to think, okay, family, mother's not here, dad is not here. But a family was around, my sisters and brothers. We're a family of 7, but we're 5 now. The uncles, abomamncanes and aunts, they're all around. So it was big for them. It was big. They cried a lot. I think they made me even cry. But friends, the guys I rode with, we celebrated.
You become family, obviously.
Yeah, you become family.
When you bonded by something together.
Yeah. So it's a small sport. It's a small fraternity. So you become family. Yeah.
It's an incredible story of self-sacrifice from your mother, who wanted things for you that she didn't even know.
I don't even think she knew I would end up. I mean, yes, she was one of people. Why are you doing this crazy sport? And so when she looked at the pictures, we were like, okay, so which direction you're going? Now you gotta explain all the time, and you can't shut it to your mother. You can explain 10 times. We go that direction. You're
facing that way.
Yes, but how do you do it? So I had to be patient and all the time. And so every weekend I used to come with the medal home. Some days you didn't come back. You didn't come with the medals. But it was a sad and exciting moment. It was mixed emotions.
I can imagine it is. There's so many that come to Johannesburg and then lose their way, but we all come here because we're hoping. Our parents come here because they're hoping, they're wanting. We don't even know what it is at times. But what we do know is there's a promise of a better life in the city of gold. You were one of a few that was able to actually get the gold in literal sense as well. What did young Sizwe, if you even remember, I remember I wanted to be a lawyer. I don't know why, but I was inspired by something I had seen or known. You couldn't have imagined this is where life was going.
Funny enough, I wanted to be a lawyer too. But we grew up in, it was the era where if you were a nurse,
a teacher,
or you're working at the municipality, or a police.
Or you're a cop,
I also wanted to be a police. So you made it in life. And sadly, it's still like that in lots of small towns.
Exposure, though. And that's why we have people like you here.
Yes.
Because you can't want to be something you don't know. You can't be like, hey, I want to be an orthodontist, when you've never heard that there's somebody that, does teeth together.
Yeah. I mean, you go back now to Full Crust. I go back to Newcastle Plaposh and say, there's a medal. It was celebrated in Volksrust. I mean, South Africa comes from Full Crust as well at that time, 2012, yes. So,
which one?
Volksrust. What's her name?
Is it Lalela?
Google. No. White lady.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna know.
No, you're not gonna know.
no,
I think you were young at that time.
I'm not gonna know.
Yeah, so it was around about that time, I remember. And so still now, black people still know what rowing is. Full cross.
Yeah?
Still don't know what.
You say full cross. I can tell you now, here in Joburg even.
Yeah.
Here in Joburg.
In studio, when I arrived, you saw that the guy was...
guys that work here. You know what I mean? They don't even know what it is.
They give you signal with hands going sideways. You're like, no, that's something else. Mm.
How far have we come in this country as people of color in fully enjoying and getting to learn the things of our land, the things that that we are capable of, and the possibilities that we have? Because it's 12 years. I have not seen in qualifiers, I've not seen in big tournaments a medalist that is black.
I think we've come a long way. Let's be positive. I think we've come a long way. There's still a lot more to do. I'm looking at cricket. I'm looking at the sport of rowing as well. 12 years is long not to have transformed, not to have had another Sizwe there. There's now cricket. You look at who is there now?
It's just KG.
It's just KG.
It's similar to what we had in 99. In 98, in 96, where it was just Makaya.
Yeah, 96.
You know what I mean? It's just Makaya again. It's just Kagiso. Yes, we have a sub that's Ngiti, but out of the players, it's just one.
So, it's sad. So I think there's still a lot of work to be done. Why? Whose duty is it? It's our duty. But we need to be working together. So there's still a long way to go. We're not even halfway yet.
When you see how we celebrate in this country football players that go to the AFCON and do amazing, they get a bronze.
And that's big.
Beautiful. Yeah, it was big. And the likes. Cricket now they're in the final, and that is a huge thing.
That's first time.
Not the fact that they've won anything. They haven't played the best in the world and won yet. No, they're in the final. Do you sometimes feel rowing? Like, people don't even know who I am. People don't even celebrate me. Did I do this thing in a corner? What impact have I had?
Hashtag Throwback Thursday on Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Powered by SABC Sport.
Welcome back at Sports Night Amplified with Andile. Sizwe is with us. I've got an Olympic gold in my hand. This is the closest I'll ever get to it. It's an incredible thing. It really is a beautiful thing. It is heavy. Did you know because I didn't expect it to be quite this.
I remember doing sports history at varsity. I used to see a small...
Those little ones, yeah.
Those little ones. Over the years, they've gone bigger and bigger. These things are like cell phones. Remember when cell phones came out? But it's the other way around.
Cell phones went small, then big now. But I was saying a little bit earlier, if you had won this in football, if you had gone to the Olympics, we still speak about the Olympics team that beat Brazil. They didn't win the tournament. They didn't win much. They beat Brazil. I can tell you those players off by head, the entire starting 11. But you won a gold, Sizwe. And everybody that was in this building today, I had to tell them who you are. I had to say, guys, this is Sizwe. And they're like, oh, Sizwe who? And I said, no, this is Sizwe, the gold medalist. Oh, he has a gold medal in what? And I understand you're a humble guy, but...
Sometimes it's better like that.
No.
I guess, even after 2012, 2013, 2014, life got so busy. I was used to this away from people. Now you're just standing in a crowd and talking to a crowd.
Yeah.
To adjust to that, it was just difficult. Now I can sit here and talk to the whole Metro listeners. And
you're happy about this. This was something you were doing. This is something you wanted to achieve, and you are happy with yourself.
Yeah. So that's what makes it easy now.
Listen, I wanted to bring you here because I wanted to tell you that you might not know this, but you inspired me. after, when it all happened, I saw it and I was like, this is great for black people. This is great for me. But when I met you and spoke to you, you inspired me because I then got to know your story. Your story is my story. It's South Africa's story. The president speaks of Dentwalo. There's a Sizwe as well. And that Sizwe is you. You, the person who was born when our parents didn't know much about what would become of our futures, and all they knew is, I need to send them to school and put food in front of them. You went and surpassed all of that. You went and did the unthinkable. Your mom, wherever she is, may she know that you've done well, Sizwe. She has every reason to be proud of the man you've become. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for coming through. I don't want to finish the story because I want to call you again in 2 years to say, hey, let's pick this up and let's go, because your sort of inspiration doesn't age and doesn't wilter. It's something that we'll always need. A boy from a place to the top of the world, literally. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Andile. I'm glad I inspired you and many others. It's been a good journey, and it's still an interesting journey as well.
I don't want to hold on to this anymore, because if I keep holding on to it like this, I won't want to let it go. Don't go. Stay right there. I need to do this quickly. I need to speak to Tsulu on the line. Tsulu Tiro, who's with Engen. Tsulu, have you ever held a gold medal in your hand?
I have never, Andile.
I must put you on things, Tsulu. I must put you on things.
Please do. Please do.
I've got in studio with me Africa's only black Olympic winner in the water. Absolute history. But it kind of reminds me of what happened at the marathon as well. A South African making history at the Comrades.
Very true. We were very proud to be there to witness Gerda continue to blaze the trails. She keeps inspiring us year in, year out.
It is absolutely incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. It's my conversation with Engen sponsorship manager Tsulu Tiro. Tsulu, when you look at what you guys are doing in sports now, being back in football as well, it's something that I'm enjoying so much. We saw your involvement in the Comrades Marathon. I see that. But you've just had the first Engen Knockout Challenge in PE this past weekend as well.
It was actually our second one. We had our first one in Cape Town a few weeks ago. The same weekend with Comrades, we hosted the Knockout Challenge in Cape Town. And we were in PE this past weekend, and we are off to Durban from this weekend, from Saturday. And then we'll wrap it up in Joburg the first weekend of July. The Knockout Challenge is a tournament that has been part of our stable for 22 years now, so we are really committed to football development in South Africa. It's so inspiring to see these young kids come in, year out, come and showcase their skills, to witness the future stars of Bafana Bafana and Banyana Banyana and other top flight clubs that likely will come through this platform. Is something that keeps us committed to providing this platform for the youth to keep coming and showcasing their skills.
It's your moment. Join Engen, the proud full sponsor of the Springboks, for the latest on the Engen Knockout Challenge. Get into rugby program and the Comrades Marathon, where passion meets opportunity, because with us, you are number one. So before I let you go very quickly, we've seen exciting taglines. It's your moment across all your properties. What is the thinking around that?
We're trying to challenge athletes, we're trying to challenge coaches, officials, spectators to take the moment, to seize the moment. We provide the platforms, be it the Get Into Rugby development program in rugby, be it the Engen Knockout Challenge, be it the Comrades. Wherever we are involved in sports, we want to challenge everybody to take the moment and showcase their skills, show their passion, and just, make use of the opportunities that Engen provides.
I appreciate you, and thank you for always coming on, yeah?
Thanks so much, Andile.
It's your moment. Sports segment is proudly brought to you by Engen, the proud fuel sponsor of the Springboks and Comrades Marathon. Engen, with us, you are number one. With that being said, I'm going to directly and immediately hand you over to Faith and the team.